Oh, how's it going, guys? Disney Dan here. Welcome back into another Disney movie review. This is gonna be a really fun show today because we have chosen one of the greatest Disney films of all time, one of the best, The Lion King, which is really exciting. And we've got a special guest with us tonight. Firstly, my co-host Walt from Mouse Talk. It is so good to see you, pal. Amazing live stream earlier today. Glad to have you back.
Bright Suns.
Bright Sun.
Wrong movie.
Well, it starts off with a bright sun, but we will get there.
Actually, I guess
everything the light touches.
Everything the light. How many references can we get through this whole stream today? I just wonder. Walt, we have a special guest this week.
We do?
We do.
I think I actually didn't know I wasn't supposed to say anything.
Yeah, thanks a lot
on
for
my
that.
stream. I was like, guys, on
There's 7,000 people watching.
no. I didn't have that many people watching too, but it was. I was like, also on Sunday I'm going to be on Dan's stream and Walt's stream, and we're going to talk about The Lion King. And then Walt was like, I think that was supposed to be a secret, and I'm like, I didn't say anything.
No, yeah, because I watched the replay. I was like, what? No, wait, okay.
I didn't mean to say anything.
The cat's out of the bag already.
No,
I was excited.
So I've got two of my partner channels here today. Obviously, Walt and I do this show every single week. And we've brought on Meg from Mickey's Magic, my Disney Fiasco co-star. And you're here for the first time on Disney Movie Review. So good to have you here. It's weird being on a Sunday. Well, it's always a Sunday for me, but it's a Sunday later on a Sunday for me.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, welcome to the first time. Might be your last, depending upon how we do.
I ruined the surprise.
I'm just kidding.
Before we get started, let's see who's in the chat. We got Pamela here. Welcome into stream. I'm so excited. Love The Lion King and all those really fun emojis. Andy, good to see you too. Great to have you here. Thank you so much. My other partner channel, RobFuz, is here. Welcome into the stream, buddy. I hear the theme music already. Guys, go check out RobFuz, partner channel, great friend. And he posted a video today of the E.T. classic.
I have to watch it. I'm so excited for it.
Love that ride. Elliot Feldy, welcome into the stream. Good to see you. Welcome in. Samantha Lowe, so good to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. Alex, the filmmaker, Alex Brunner, good to have you here.
Speaking of E.T.,
E.T.
His logo.
Yeah, look at his logo with a bit of Star Wars in there. R2 phone home. Super Fluffy Yeti, welcome into Stream The Lion King, and Meg 2, a perfect evening. Absolutely. Shiny Prisma, why?
Yeah.
Why not? Welcome into the stream. Stopping by to say hi. And I'm a rhyme.
You are. You're rhyming.
Okay, bye. The Definity Crew, welcome into the stream, guys. Ron and Meredith, so good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Cynthia, Candyman, welcome into stream. Another of my wonderful members. Great to have you here. Brandon, Phantasmic Ears, welcome. And the Mickey Scousers, good to have you here too. I was named after E.T. I love it. I love it. Great film.
Elliot.
Wrong film, but we will get there. Actually, no, it's not a Disney film, but maybe we'll do it.
Yes. Let's talk about E.T.
Why not? So if you are new to Disney Movie Review, every week Walt and I choose a random film out of the box, and that's on Disney Plus, and we take the time during the week to review it. Now, this week is kind of different because, like we did Beauty and the Beast a while back, we are reviewing the animated version from 1994 and the live-action film that came out in 2019. I think mainly we'll stay focused on the story from the animated version, but then when we come to something interesting or important that is in the live-action film, then we will discuss that, and obviously we will grade the films differently. Now, at the end of last week's show, Walt and I were discussing that we needed somebody who really enjoyed the live action film. That doesn't mean that I didn't or Walt didn't. Spoiler alert.
I did.
We wanted somebody who really enjoyed the live action film from 2019, and we immediately thought of Meg. So, and you love The Lion King, so we had to have you on here. So we are super excited to have you.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah. So it's our motto. What's the motto?
What's the matter with you?
I don't know. What's the matter with you?
That's our motto.
That's
What's
our
eating
motto.
him? Nothing. He's at the top of the food chain.
I feel like we could just go through this whole hour just doing like Lion King references and not actually talk about the film at all.
He looks
Just line
blue.
by line.
He looks blue. I'd say brownish gold. Sorry. She's gonna eat me.
He's gonna eat me. That goes back to what we were doing before. Where is she?
Where is
She's gonna eat me.
Hey, Uncle Scar, when I'm
Sorry,
king, what
bye.
does that make you? A monkey's uncle. You're so weird.
You have no idea.
Uncle Scar, you're weird.
Squishy but satisfying. Isaac Nail, welcome into the stream. Great to see you. I bet Carlos hasn't seen it. I bet you he
Probably.
hasn't. I bet you he hasn't seen it. So, so let's just quickly
If
go
Carlos
back.
hasn't seen The Lion King, I will unsubscribe to his channel.
That was a threat, Carlos, if you're watching.
1994, the year the film came out, and the year was very special because not only did the film come out, but
remember, it's the year after 1993. God.
That's why it's special.
that's why it's special, and because literally Meg and I grew up with this film.
Yeah.
We are from that year that The Lion King was released, so we literally grew up with this film from 1994.
Yeah.
And just from the start, the cast is phenomenal. Just the cast alone. Matthew Broderick, Jeremy Irons,
Simba, I am your father.
James Earl Jones, Darth Vader is in this movie. I mean, talk about an incredible cast that we had.
The lady from One Tree Hill, the mom. What's her name? Who plays adult Nala. She's the
Nala?
mom from One Tree Hill.
I did not know that.
Have you seen One Tree Hill?
No, I haven't seen it.
Is Lion King 1.5 part of the discussion? Maybe we'll talk about the sequels and the spin-offs later on. But we have a lot to talk about in this hour. Now, we did talk about this on episode 94 of Disney Fiasco a couple of months ago, but I feel today we're going to go in a little bit more depth, a little bit more detail. But my first question is, when was the first time you saw the original 1994 Lion King? Walt, did you see this in theaters? Was it years afterwards? Oh, of course you did.
I was 24 years old. You guys are just being born. I was
Amy, welcome into the stream. Another one of my wonderful
It
members.
doesn't
Thank
matter.
you
That just
so much
shows
for
how
being
old I am. Yes, I saw this in the movie theaters. Absolutely, I did.
here. And Meg and I, we didn't.
No, but I definitely saw it in 1994 because my mom showed me. I've talked about this before. The first movie I saw was The Nightmare Before Christmas. Like that was the movie that she put on when I was brought home from the hospital. And that like my older brothers loved The Lion King, so that movie was on like all the time. And my dad has very specific memories that he'll tell me of putting on The Lion King and us just all sitting in there and listening to The Circle of Life and it just being like the most amazing thing ever. So yeah.
See, I was late to the party. I think I saw The Lion King when I was around maybe 12, 10.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I never had it on VHS. I never had it on DVD. It was a film that I never really had seen until I was, going into my teens, which is kind of crazy. Like I didn't really, I've never saw it before then, which is kind of weird. And now obviously I watch it all the time. So England, Portugal, welcome into the stream. Great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So yeah, it's kind of like it's a classic for a reason. This was like the pinnacle of that Disney 90s period, which every Disney film is pretty much compared to.
Yeah.
And we will talk about those iconic moments. Christine Hickman, another one of my members. Great to have you here.
I do want to say one thing. As somebody who was around in 1994 for this,
all of us were.
You know what I mean. I mean, like, really around.
You were an adult.
Yes, as an adult. The trailer for the movie was literally the opening scene.
Wow.
Okay? That was the trailer. I'm not kidding you. The sun coming up and the music playing and you've seen the animals, that was the trailer. And when I saw the trailer, I had no interest in the movie.
What?
I didn't.
I would be like, hands down, gonna go see it right
nope,
now.
I didn't. I was like, because it didn't really say what the story was. It's just, I mean, if you're just seeing a trailer, I mean, you know now it's fantastic. But just seeing that, I'm like, what am I looking at here?
Yeah.
What am I watching? Think of it in that way, as someone who has no idea what the story is. Yeah. And you see that start, and I'm like, okay, these are animals. That's it. It didn't give you any idea of what the story was. No. And actually, the story is Hamlet.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it really is, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
But I wasn't interested, but I went anyway. And they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. As filmmaker says, this is a very important point. He says it's in my top 5 animated movies of all time. And I feel like The Lion King, since it was released, is considered maybe even the greatest animated film of all time. I mean, it's certainly in people's top 5s, top 3s. You know, I think a lot of films, no matter if it's Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks, Illumination Film, all of these companies, I feel, always look back to The Lion King because of how iconic this film is. And we'll get into why this film is considered one of the greatest of all time. Simba himself is here in the chat right here. Young Simba will be 40 next year, y'all. Feel old. Not yet.
Well, like, I don't know.
I don't know. So
I got him beat by 10 years, so yeah.
Let's start this film. Now, I'm going to say it right now, this is the most iconic opening of a Disney movie of all time. I'm saying it right. As soon as that note hits, like everybody, I don't care who you are, wants to join in. There's shivers and goosebumps down my spine. The beautiful sort of like expansion of the sun, like it's a new day. It is, like we talked about, Walt, in our previous reviews, it is that commercial scene that you see on Disney commercials. Like it's that iconic moment. And there's no other opening second of any Disney film that is as iconic as that opening note of the film.
Isaac put it in his
mic drop.
Dan, can you sing that for us?
Well, I used to live in Wales, but this is totally out of my depth. Nanzingonya. No, I'm not. I'm just going to stop there before I'm going to get hate. So,
good idea.
Yeah, going to stop there. So you see the savannah, you see the animals heading to Pride Rock. I'll tell you what, it feels like the camera in this animation is just following these animals like it's a National Geographic film. You know, you watch them go through the water. The animation is so detailed. From 1994, this film is 25 years old, and it still looks like it came out yesterday. 26 years old, and it feels like it came out yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's just phenomenal. So let's just talk about that opening scene just before we get to Pride Rock. Meg, what do you think of that scene? How does that first scene sort of make you feel?
Oh, I can't watch that without crying. Like, even just thinking about it makes me want to cry. And you guys know that I'm not an emotional person. I don't cry at anything. So even I said to my mom, like, we went to go see the live action one in the theater, and I was like, I need to grab like all my tissues, because the second they hit that note and I see this, there's something just so beautiful. I don't even think I could put it into words, like what that means. Just the idea of all of these creatures, animals coming together to celebrate the birth of this child, this baby lion, and just seeing all of these animals. And, you know, I was so lucky to be able to see so many of these animals in real life in their natural habitats. Yeah. And so I think that makes it even more sentimental for me. But even since I was a kid, I could just watch that over and over and over and over again on that one scene, and I would just be happy. But it's something about it is just so touching, and the way that they do all the camera work, like panning from scene to scene, transitioning from each animal, it's unbelievable. Oh, Carlos is here. Carlos, another movie you haven't seen.
One of my wonderful members. Thank you so much for being here, brother. I hope you have seen this film. Otherwise, there's going to be talks off stream. Avery, welcome into the stream. Great to see you. John P. Hazelton, good to see you too. Carlos, we have a question. Have you seen The Lion King? And he's not answering the question. He's just saying hi to people, which is good, but he's not answering the question. Walt, what about you? The opening of this film.
Well, again, it was for me as a trailer, I didn't quite get and understand what it was I was seeing, but it was really, really cool once you actually played it out. Once you've seen the movie, the beginning of it makes sense at that point. For me, it back then when I was 24 years old, I was still 24 going on 12.
That's me still.
I'm older than that. It was neat. It was really, really cool. And when you do see them start to pan over and then they come out into the big picture of Pride Rock and you see the animals up there, that was really, really cool how they do that. And it's basically the circle of life, and not just for humans, but for animals too. Yeah. You have the king, and the king is going to get supplanted by his heir. Exactly. And it happens with humans, it happens with animals as well, and it's a really cool opening for sure. It is probably the most epic opening of any cartoon. I say cartoon, any animated film ever. Period.
I have to also say too that when they have the song and it comes to an end and it's like doom, and then the Lion King comes up and it's just like, wow,
we're getting ready for a journey right there.
Wow, what just happened? And
Pamela, welcome. Pamela, welcome into the stream. Yes, of course, seen The Lion King, of course. And Carl says, OMG, 1, I've seen both. 2, joke, is 6 months or old already.
But which both are you talking about? Are you talking about the live action and the original animated movie? Or
exactly. I absolutely love The Lion King musical. We will definitely get into that. The Circle of Life is so amazing in the musical. I say it's more amazing than the version in the OG animated movie.
Avery, I might even agree with you on that.
I've actually never seen The Lion King entirely, just many scenes of it. Right. Oh gosh. William, go watch it right now. Right now. Literally go watch it. My captain, Akron, welcome into the stream. I'm glad I'm still here to give you all a good giggle.
So are we, Carlos. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, or just
He's a good man. You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
I'm kidding. Definitely go watch it, William. It is just a phenomenal film from start to finish. So one of my favorite. This is my first sort of thing about the difference between the live action and the animation. Is one scene that I saw in the animation at the start of this film is when all the animals finally get to Pride Rock, and you see Rafiki climb up Pride Rock, and what you see is him hug Mufasa with 2 great big smiles on their faces. And now for me, that scene right there brings so much emotion and so much, it just gives me that bit of characterization already that these two have such a good connection, and there's something that they are happy and proud and I feel like, okay, obviously there's going to be differences in opinion here. It's something that I feel the live action really missed the ball on, and that's bringing that sense of emotion to the characters in their faces. Now, I understand it's trying to be more realistic, but with a film like The Lion King, the silly parts and the emotion really made the film for me, just me personally. And when I see Mufasa and Rafiki hug each other and give those big smiles, and you see Sarabi smile as she gives birth to Simba, that for me just gives me sort of the, such a good feeling.
The feels.
It gives me the feels. It does. And, you see Rafiki with the ceremony thing he does, and I'm putting it. We'll say who our favorite characters are later on, but Rafiki does have a massive role in this film in the animation. And
I already know Walt's favorite character.
Everybody knows who my favorite character is.
And then you have the most iconic stance in Disney history. So I want everybody to get the closest thing that's near you, and then you get Rafiki, and then he goes in front of everybody. Scissors? Really?
I was opening things. Oh my gosh, Sam! Hold on. I'll be right back.
I would get my dog, but he's away.
Get the dog. I love him. You're a good boy. Come here, buddy.
He's like, what is going on? Lots of.
No. Look at my face. My face is as red as Lotso's. Good Lord.
But that is the.
Cam needs to lose some weight.
Cammy needs to lose some weight for sure.
He's so cute.
He's very cute. Rafiki holding up baby Simba. It is just one of those most iconic moments in Disney history.
Don't you like when Simba hits Mufasa? Dad, wake up, Dad. It's your turn. No, Dad.
So we get the Lion King movie title, and then Walt, do you want to talk about the actual start of this film, the first lines of dialogue? Because we are introduced to our antagonist.
Well, yeah, I mean, we kind of look. It's like anything else. When you have in the world of power, how many times have we seen the king have a brother who thinks he should be king?
Yeah, like Adam. Hey, buddy.
There you go.
Good to see you, brother.
A brother that's king.
Mm-hmm.
Night, Adam.
Congratulations. Yeah, in the world of Adam's land.
Yeah.
In the kingdom of Adam's land. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, how many times have we seen it?
Wouldn't Adam be the king of Adam's land?
No, because Adam is Adam. It's Adam's land.
It's named after Adam.
No, it's after his brother.
His brother's also named Adam.
No, his brother is Adam's land.
We are
off the
I just
rails.
want to clarify.
Yep. Yeah, so there you go. We finally get to meet Scar, who, by the way, has a scar.
He does.
So his parents really knew ahead of time what was going to happen to him because they knew he was going to have a scar at some point because they named him that. They probably gave it to him. Anyway, yeah.
Well,
so
we'll tell you two apart.
Yeah, we got to make sure we know you two apart.
Yeah.
And that's when the heir apparent comes in to see his uncle. And they have some very good dialogue. And Jeremy Irons is really good in the role of Scar. I mean, he's British, and all British people are evil.
Yeah,
you know how that is.
We know.
They're the real evil empire in this country.
See, I would be king. And you will never see the life of another day.
Dan, quickly say, "Be prepared."
Be prepared. Let me just say this, right? Firstly, Jonathan Chung, welcome into the stream. Great to have you here.
I'm glad you said that.
Mouse, good to see you. I am the king of Adam's land. I have no brother, but I didn't do a scar.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Especially Dan is evil. Well, great, thanks. This is one of the, apart from, I would say, Genie and Robin Williams, for me, Jeremy Irons was the perfect casting choice for Scar. Scar's script was deliberately written for a Jeremy Irons voice. And everything that he says and every word that comes out of Jeremy Irons' voice just sounds perfect. It is beautifully written for him, which is why I wasn't so invested into, what's his name, Chiwetel Ejiofor's portrayal of the live action version.
I didn't even know that was his name.
You mean Mordu?
Mordu from Doctor Strange. Just for
reference.
I just didn't for me, there will be no other Scar apart from Jeremy Irons. And him bouncing off with my favorite comedian of all time, Rowan Atkinson, as Zazu, brilliant. Just brilliant. My favorite comedian in my favorite animated film, second favorite animated film, I'm done. Yeah.
Is he Zazu? Oh, he is
Yeah.
Zazu, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, all right, sorry. You don't have to yell at me.
Sorry. I think the only other person who maybe rivals, excuse me, the voice for a villain is maybe James Woods, for Hades.
Yes.
Well, it depends on what we're talking about. Like for Genie's not, he's perfect for Robin Williams, but he's not a villain.
Yeah.
But like for me, I think James Earl Jones is Mufasa. Could you see anybody else? That's why they got him to do it again. Is there anybody else that can play Mufasa? Of course not.
It's so hard when you have such an iconic voice like that. Like people know it immediately. And I think people would have been upset if he wasn't brought back. I think they could have tried to,
I would have been.
Yeah. I think they could have tried to maybe get Jeremy Irons to come back. I don't know what happened. I don't see how you can keep one person from the original cast and then just like clear everyone else out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the only thing I really, in terms of the casting, what I liked about the live action film was that they got Seth Rogen as Pumbaa. Because for me,
he is the perfect Pumbaa.
He is a very good Pumbaa Hislop.
Yeah.
It's very Pumbaa-like.
Yeah.
And I think he was a great new modern day Pumbaa.
Everything, like all the voice acting was perfect. The singing was not good.
No.
He's not a singer, but he was like literally the perfect voice for Pumbaa. So
we have Mufasa and Scar going at it. Why wasn't you at my, son's birth? And because obviously now Scar is feeling, that he's, that's it for him. He's not going to be king. He was first in line. Now he's at the back of the line. He's, he's a monkey's uncle. That's what he is. There's no one. He can't really do anything about it yet. So, and that's pretty much where we sort of are introduced to the majority of the characters. So where do we end up next? We get introduced to Simba. And, Simba is that young cub. And he's excited because he has come to the age now. He's a young, naive little cub who will realize that he will be king one day. He's going to be king. He's entitled. He's first in line. And
I like him better as an adult than I do as a kid. He's entitled. And I think his song really kind of...
Yeah. Disney 65 fan, welcome into the stream. So good to have you here. Better than the remake, in my opinion. We are definitely talking about the comparisons here, and we are introduced the first sort of moment with Simba and Mufasa together at the top of Pride Rock, and he says, "Look, Simba, everything the light touches is our kingdom." And then we start to get a little bit of that, Episode 4 Luke Skywalker vibe from Simba. I want to go to the Tashi station to pick up some power converters and go over to the elephant graveyard.
Let me go to the elephant graveyard, Dad. It's not scary there. No hyenas will get me.
He goes, what about that shadowy place? And he goes, you should never go there. And and let's be honest, if you're a kid and you're told something that you don't that you're not allowed to do, you want to do it. Like, look, if there's the big red button and you're like, don't press that button, you're gonna press that button. And this is why he gets so excited. Scar tells him you don't. Scar's like, oh, you should never go there. He's absolutely right.
That's only for the bravest lions.
Only for the bravest lions.
He's manipulating him.
Yeah.
Look, it's manipulation. That's all it is. He's manipulating him, hoping that he will go, and that something will happen to him.
The hyenas will have a little snack.
And that's why the hope. I love Scar in this film. The Scar is, one of the greatest villains of all time, because he even said this right at the start of the film. In terms of his brains, he's the top line.
He's got the lion's share of the brains.
Got the lion's share of the brains, but in terms of muscle, he's not. And which is why I love this villain, because he's not that big, strong. Yeah, obviously he's a lion, but he's not the big, strong lion. He uses his brain to manipulate people, and that's what I think is even stronger about his villain motives than being someone like, you know, Clayton from Tarzan or Gaston with all the muscle and no brain. That's why I love Scar as a villain, because he's one of the smartest villains, which is fantastic. So, and then obviously Simba wants to head over there,
and he runs away from Zazu.
Away from Zazu.
Yep.
My favorite characters in The Lion King are Nala, Simba, and Timon and Pumbaa, and of course Mufasa and Zazu too. A heck loved them all. Such a classic film. I'll take the original every time. Carlos says, not only as a kid, even as an adult, Suzanne tells me all the time to leave her alone. Okay.
Nice.
Scar is awesome. Wendy Luhu, Dan, Walton, Meg, hello. Which one of you is Pumbaa tonight? It's like who's Tweedledee and Tweedledum? I'm the dumb one. That's how it is.
Wait, Dan, can you show my name for a second?
Show your name. Hold on. Wait. Boom.
I'm a Disney princess today. Aurora. Okay, sorry. I am Aurora today. So I'm a lion. Roar.
I'm a lion.
We should have played the Katy Perry song.
You hear me roar.
Give me Aurora.
Roar.
Yes.
Aurora. I can't believe we're 30 minutes in and we haven't even got to any of the film yet.
Yeah, good Lord. Let's go.
Right. Because I'm here. It always happens.
See, if Jeff from Dole Whip Dad was here, we wouldn't even start the film yet. So, so where do we go next, Walt?
Well, here's the thing. Simba is the normal heir apparent kid. He's naive. He's impatient. He wants to be king now. You know, this, that, and the other. Blah, blah, blah. Let's rush everything because that's kids.
And they're invincible.
As a dad, right, exactly. And as a dad, I see it all the time. Go, 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 go. I want it now. I want it now. That's a Willy Wonka reference, by the way. But anyway, so Scar kind of uses that. He manipulates that. I mean, and then we have Simba's song, I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Because that actually happens before he goes to the graveyard.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then he's telling on the way there, and they're talking, and Zazu's trying to, bring him back down to earth a little bit and tell him, you're not ready yet, kid. And he's like, no, I'm ready. And then that's when they go to the elephant graveyard. And this is when he really, for the first time, understands that if he's not careful, mistakes are going to be made. And they're mistakes that not only will hurt him, but can hurt others. A la Nala, because they're at the elephant graveyard and it's just the two of them and 3 full-grown hyenas. As funny as they are incredibly deadly. Yeah.
Hyenas eat literally everything. They
everything.
Eat other dead hyenas. Right.
And so they are not only outnumbered, but they are out-muscled. The hyenas will, pardon the expression, they will tear them apart if they get the chance.
You got two cubs and a bird against 3 hyenas.
Full-grown hyenas who are probably hungry hyenas.
Well, one isn't very bright. Well, they're not all very bright, but you got Ed, who probably will run the other way. But
right. But luckily, Zazu does get away, and he's able to get help. Yes, he gets help.
Danger, I laugh in the face of danger. Ha ha ha.
Exactly.
And then that's where it all sort of happens. And that elephant graveyard scene really brings that sort of dark sense to the film, which I think up until then really
it's a premonition.
It's a premonition. It absolutely is.
For me, it is.
Yeah,
I think so. Absolutely. Honestly, I think Rowan Atkinson did a better job. Did the better Zazu. Maybe I'm biased because I grew up with Mr. Bean. Look, I'm biased with Rowan Atkinson. I think he's a wonderful voice actor and really not known for voice acting. And I think he did a fantastic job. Noah, welcome into the stream. Great to have you here. We're going to skip over I Just Can't Wait to Be King. It's a fantastic song.
No, it's a fun song, but it enhances the point of him needing to understand that his time will come, but he's being impatient. Scar's manipulation of him in certain ways, he takes advantage of that.
Absolutely.
And you're right. Mufasa saves him. ultimately comes and does save him. And that's when Mufasa gives him a very important lesson.
Kelly,
one of my favorite things. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, welcome in Kelly from the Mickey Bunch.
Yeah.
Great.
And then he takes him up he takes him up to the cliff area, and it's one of my favorite scenes. And it's the truth in any life. He puts his paw inside of his father's paw, and he realizes, I'm not there yet. And I think that's when he realizes for the first time, I can't stand in his footsteps yet. I'm not there. And it's that moment that he's, this guy is the real deal. I've got to learn from him. And that's what he kind of tells him when he gets up there. He's like, look, not only did you put yourself in danger, you put Nala in danger. You need to, and he tells him, you need to kind of take a step back and realize that you're not there yet. And he's like, well, nothing scares you, Dad. And he's like, things do scare me. I was scared today. I was scared today that you were not going to be there.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Being brave doesn't mean you go looking for trouble.
Right. It's true. That's exactly right.
Great to see you, Kay. So good to have you here. And then it goes from something like that where they sort of, Simba feels very apologetic. Something which I think also is important where he goes, he says, Dad, we're pals, right? And I hope to, live with you forever. And then he talks about the stars. And he said, you know what, Simba? Look at the stars. All the great kings are looking down on you.
Of the past,
the past.
And I think it's such a important message to, I think, everybody, knowing that, obviously it's something that everybody goes through. And I think Simba realizes that one day it will just be him ruling, and that Mufasa and the kings before him will look down on him and, rule as, as his father did and his father did before him. And it's a very amazing sort of speech. And what I really liked about this film in particular, in both editions, is, it's not almost about the action. It's not, so much about the fighting, but it's those talks. I love the talks between characters.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's Mufasa and Simba, Mufasa and Scar, Simba and Rafiki.
Mm-hmm.
I love those moments because that brings that character depth that makes this film stand out to every other film in animation, in film in general, which I think is amazing.
One other point I'll say to that scene when he's talking with him up on the cliff there, and he goes, "You know who else was really afraid today, Dad?" He says, "The hyenas were afraid." But it's actually another premonition because Mufasa then says, "Because nobody messes with your dad."
Yeah,
it's true.
But you know what? Somebody did mess with him, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
Spoiler.
We go back to that dark, shadowy place, and we find that the hyenas are in cahoots with Scar. And Scar was pretty much saying, "Hey, I've delivered these cubs on a plate to you, and you messed it up. Mm-hmm. You screwed up. You couldn't even get rid of Simba and his friend and the bird. Like, they couldn't do it."
Yeah.
And for me, this is my favorite song in the film. It is the strongest villain songs, I think, in the Disney catalog. Be Prepared and Scar's motivation and the cinematography, there are so many parallels to history. I mean, you look back.
They make that today. That scene is cut from the film.
Cut.
Yeah,
you're not seeing the 1941 Germany in a film today. It's made 26 years ago. It's a different Disney today.
It shows you.
Because that's what they're taking that scene from, technically.
Disney is telling you that this guy is as bad as,
You know who.
Yeah.
You know who. Not Voldemort, but you know who. Like
the real Voldemort.
And Disney
the real one. And he had
Disney had a lot of courage to put a scene like that in this Be Prepared song.
And they wouldn't do that today.
They would not do that today.
Not today.
Which is why I can understand why they pretty much took out the Be Prepared song in the live action film. They did one sort of verse, but the whole Be Prepared song gives so much depth to Scar. You know, he's angry, he's jealous, he's manipulative, and that builds on that song. And I feel like they just lose it in the live action film, which is a shame because it is my favorite song in the film. And I just love the animated because of the history, the depth, the music. Jeremy Irons singing, come on, like it's fantastic. So, and then they start plotting the death of Mufasa. Great idea. Who needs a king? No king, no king. Da, 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 da. Idiots. Laurie French, welcome into the stream. Great to see Scar was such a strong villain. This is why I think a song like this, you know, really tells you how incredible Scar is as a villain. And we will get to his big villainous moment very, very soon. So the Be Prepared scene, Meg, what do you think of the Be Prepared scene?
So I am not a huge fan of that song. I can definitely listen to it, but I like other songs much, much, much more in that movie. But I do think that it really builds Scar's character and his collaboration with the hyenas and just like how dark it is. Like you were talking about sort of that transition of like everything the light touches, you know, is our kingdom. And then you get into this really grungy, gross, dead elephant graveyard, and then you see like all these green flames coming up, and you're like, my gosh, what's going on? And then it really, that I feel like that's a turning point in the movie of like, we're gonna see
some stuff here, and the visuals are just phenomenal. I love where he's, you know, the rocks are pushing him above everybody else, and the smoke and the green flames pushing his mane back, and he's like telling everybody to, you know, we're gonna do this, and you believe him. You believe that is going to fulfill on his promise.
Yeah,
which is what happens. So
it's scary. It's really scary. Like for a little kid, that's a scary thing.
So the gorge scene, Walt.
No,
I'm with Meg. Oh, well, let me go back to the Be Prepared. It's not. I'm with Meg on this. I'm not a big fan of it. It's okay. I get the importance of it. It's a character development for Scar. It's really to help build how bad of a guy he really is, and they're making a correlation there. So I get it, but I'm not. I agree with Meg. It's probably my least favorite of the songs. I hate to say it,
but it's so hard to compare that to. I mean, like Elton John wrote.
I mean Elton John. Exactly. I mean that's like, you know, one of the greatest songwriters and singers of all time. Yeah. It's really going to be hard to beat a lot of his music.
Yeah.
But I get it. I mean, it's just not for me.
All the music in this film is
phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
It is. This, you know, you can name every song in this film, where, you know, you can look at so many other Disney films and you might not remember every song from that film, but you know every song from The Lion King, Circle of Life, Hakuna Matata, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, Be Prepared, even In the Jungle, The Mighty Jungle, Timon sings for like 2 seconds. You know these songs, and that's why it was such a iconic film, because people come out that movie theater. It's like that Frozen effect. You come out of the movie theater and they're singing Let It Go or Hakuna Matata. You know, that's the thing. I know obviously we are slow on time, but we're going to move into quickly the gorge scene.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing about that scene for me is it's the scene. It's the scene that really shifts the entire movie. It's the scene. It is the catalyst scene of the entire thing. Basically, their plan is set in place. That there's hundreds upon hundreds of I think they're wildebeest, right?
Yeah, wildebeest. Yeah.
Wildebeest, and the hyenas stir up a stampede, and they do it where they're going to go down into the gorge, where Scar has led Simba down there, and basically he's going to have him trampled to death. Is what he's going to have him do. He's going to have him trampled to death. Because once a stampede starts, you're not stopping it until they want it to stop. And so that's what happens is they start to do it, and they go down there, and they're stampeding through, and Simba is running for his life, and Scar smartly, because he is smart, goes right to Simba and makes it seem like he's helping. Oh my gosh, your son's down in the gorge. There's a stampede. And like any dad, what's the first thing you're going to do? And I would do it in a heartbeat for my kids. I'd go into a building in flames. I'm going to go save my kids.
Yeah.
And he does. And you don't think, you just react. And it's a great, great scene. And he goes down there and he saves Simba. But then you see him carried off. And at first, it's actually a great, great scene that they did it this way. And I love it. And Meg, I want you to touch on it, and Dan, you too. Since when he gets taken away, Mufasa gets taken away, I'm thinking, wow, he's gone.
Yeah.
And then he jumps out and grabs onto the side, and I'm like, it's like, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And this is where I have to agree with Dan. The issue I have, and I didn't see the live action, but the looks on the animated faces is what really makes it, because when he's climbing on you, you see it in his face, the anguish and how hard it is for him to climb. And then he climbs and he's climbing, and the stampede is below him, and his brother's above him, and he literally says, "Brother, help me."
Yeah.
And when he grabs his paws, and you see the look on, first off, you see the pain from being clawed, and then you see him say, "Long live the king."
A smirk on his face.
Yes, but then he
with the shock on his face.
Well, right, exactly, and not just shock; it's a look of hurt. It's his brother.
Stabbed him in the back, literally.
Yeah, and he throws him.
Yeah.
And you see him fall back, and then you see the look on Simba's face, because all Simba saw was him fall, so he just fell. He didn't see him be thrown.
Be a key factor until the end of the film.
Right. And then, that's it. Long live the king. And he throws him.
That line is iconic now. Long live the king.
And it's really, if we think about it, it's really one of the only animated features where we actually see the bad guy kill the good guy.
Yeah.
I can't deal with that scene. I'm still traumatized, says Wendy. I still can't believe how long it took to animate the stampede. That scene I remember reading it took a long time to really get that film and that scene in particular.
Hi, Jeff and Angela. Welcome in.
It's a sad scene. Noah, I hope you stay safe, buddy.
Oh.
Stay safe.
Oh, yes, please. By all means, go. Yeah, be safe.
Stay safe. Jeff and Ange, this is our dream. Great to see you. Welcome into the stream, guys.
Bright Suns.
And, we see Simba screaming no and Mufasa laying down.
That is the saddest part of any Disney movie to me. It beats out Carl and Ellie. It beats out literally anything for me. When he goes up to his dad and he says, he's pushing him with his paw, like even thinking about it makes me so upset. Dad, wake up. And he's like, "Wake up, Dad." And then he curls up right next to him and he does not move. And that is the saddest Disney scene ever to me. It gets me every time. Even thinking about it, I'm just like, oh my God, don't cry right now. But when he goes, Dad, wake up, that kills me. Oh.
He says, we got to go home.
You can tell when Scar enters this scene, he doesn't care that his brother has just died. Like, he obviously he's the one who killed him, but obviously Simba doesn't know that. Simba, doesn't know what's happened, and he tells him, run away, never return. He
your fault.
He tells Simba that it's your fault. He's dead.
Yeah, it's all part of the manipulation. He doesn't literally say it. All he says, I know, the king is dead, and he'd still be alive if it wasn't for you. That's what he says.
And there's such a sad scene. Yes, Elliot, it is a really sad scene, and this is the scene. He says, "Run, Simba, run and never return."
Yeah,
and which will be an ironic line later on in the film. And you see the hyenas come out of the shadows, and then you just see that straight face from Scar. This is like the Palpatine. He goes, "Kill him."
He does. Yeah, he really does.
They go after him. Simba's like panicking, rolls down the hill. Simba goes on a full-on Brer Rabbit and goes into the thorn bushes.
Yeah.
And then obviously the hyenas chase after him, and they see the thorn bushes like whoa, 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 whoa. And then
it reminds me of Pain and Panic. Like if he finds out, if is good.
If it's good.
Well, he escapes. He literally escapes by the skin of his teeth, or the skin of their teeth. Yeah, but Simba gets away, and it ultimately they failed him now twice when it comes to Simba, the hyenas.
Yeah,
they failed him at the graveyard, and now they failed him again.
And
guess what? That was the biggest one because him getting away.
So
not good. It's going to come back to bite him. No pun intended. Get it?
Rawr.
So Scar takes over Pride Rock. He is now the leader. He's now in charge. And Simba ends up lying in the desert, being surrounded by vultures. And we get introduced to... Let me just say this, right? This film not only has amazing main characters, but they have phenomenal side characters. They really do. They got the hyenas, they got Zazu, and now the introduction of Timon and Pumbaa.
And Rafiki's a great side character.
Rafiki, yeah, of course.
Yes, Rafiki.
Of course, Rafiki.
He's amazing.
Amazing. And
Robert Guillaume.
Timon and Pumbaa come across, this animal lying in the desert. Timon lifts up the paw and he goes, "Whoa!
Yeah.
That's the lion. He's gonna eat me." And they wake him up with a bit of water and they say, what's going on and make him feel good. They're trying to cheer him up and see what's going on. And Timon and Pumbaa are like, "Hey, we kind of need him to survive. Like he could be part of our troop. Like it's kind of like
What if he's on our side? Wait a minute.
What if he's on our side?
I
love how people think Pumbaa is like the dumbest character, but in all honesty, he is one of the smartest in the whole movie. Oh, I just thought they were, giant balls of gas in the sky, billions, millions miles away. No, they're fireflies.
What was that line? He looks blue.
I'd say brownish gold.
Yeah.
Hey kid, what's eating you? Nothing. He's at the top of the food chain.
The chemistry between these two characters is incredible.
Okay. Ernie Sabella and Nathan Lane were fantastic in the role. I'm sorry. I know people like Seth Rogen and the other guy, but Ernie Sabella and Nathan Lane knocked it out of the park.
Hey, Dougie, good to see you.
They were really funny.
Good to see
they
you,
were really, really funny.
They were fantastic. Yeah. Really.
And they actually were. Did you guys ever see Mouse Hunt?
No.
I think I have, but I don't remember.
Watch Mouse Hunt. Mouse Hunt is really, really funny. They're both in that really, really quick together, too. It's kind of a nod to... It's funny. I love Mouse Hunt. Okay, sorry.
So they try to make him feel good. And they tell him, dude, you got to put your behind in the past.
Yep.
You mean put the past behind you?
Nope.
Sit down before you hurt somebody.
Right. And they tell him, nothing to worry about. Hakuna Matata.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you. Sorry.
It is such...
no worries.
What I love is the genius of the writing in the music is that every single song has a meaning. This is one of the silliest songs in Disney's collection, but it means so much.
No, it means no worries.
It means no worries.
For the rest of your days.
It's so catchy too. And one thing I really love about The Lion King is that they did work in some what language? It's Swahili. I was like, how am I not remembering this? So like obviously Simba means lion, and Hakuna Matata really means no worries, in Swahili. So
I knew that. I took Swahili in college.
Oh, nice.
No.
But it's so cool that they worked in some Swahili.
Yeah, I know. It's great. They're smart. They know what they're doing. Well, they're kind of smart.
They're like Pumbaa.
I tell you what, that song is. I was watching it yesterday, and when they're on that log, that it feels like I'm not even kidding you.
I believe it.
I was watching the film right here, right now, like literally in the seat with my laptop, and when they're doing I was literally doing this for like the whole of the Hakuna Matata song. I got dizzy, but I enjoyed it, and
that was like one of my favorite songs. It's so good,
and it tells time has progressed.
Yeah,
So it's like that's it. I don't care anymore. No worries. I'm living the
shots of them of walking across the log with the moon. Those shots are like iconic now.
It's on that Disney commercial we're talking about. Yeah. That scene when they're walking across the log, daytime to nighttime, and you see Simba growing into a young man cub. Wait, sorry, wrong film.
Young man cub.
It's a motto.
Man cub.
What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with you?
And obviously the song ends, and they get sort of that chemistry with them all together. They're like the three amigos. They're talking about the stars, and that brings back to Simba saying, oh yeah, someone told me that these were the great kings looking down on us, and looking after us. And then you can see Timon and Pumbaa just burst into hysterics, which I think. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. Say what you want. Timon and Pumbaa, in some ways, are cowards. Okay, they don't want to do anything. They don't want to, run away, basically. And he's kind of bought into that. I mean, he's quit. He's basically, I hate to say it, he quit. He's become a quitter. He's a quitter. Yes, he quit. He quit on his family. He quit on everybody. He's not going to help them. He's kind of given up. And even though they're good guys, Timon and Pumbaa, they've really kind of given him a bad example of what they shouldn't be. Yeah. And and he's been doing this now. He's given up. Oh no, Hakuna Matata, means no worries. I'm just doing my thing now. And that's when he accidentally runs into his buddy,
his lady friend.
And in the meantime,
oh, that's a good one.
In the meantime, we see Pride Rock completely decimated. Everyone's hungry. Scar is lying down. Zazu is locked up. And we get one of the most incredible improvised lines in Disney history. And he goes, "Nobody knows the trouble I see." And Scar's like, "Oh, come on, Zazu, you gotta sing a better song, more lively song than that." And then Rowan Atkinson, being Rowan Atkinson, starts singing, "It's a small world after anything." And I love that. I love that.
Oh, that's definitely a nod to, yeah.
I love that because everybody knows, It's a Small World is one of those songs that, gets stuck in the head, and it can be considered annoying. And Disney makes fun of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that they sort of played around that.
Oh, sure.
They do that in the Broadway show. They sing "Let It Go" instead.
It's Always Sunny. Brandon and Heidi,
welcome.
Great to see you guys. They were on with me with Disney Fiasco yesterday. Go check out their channel. It's Always Sunny. Brandon and Heidi are absolutely wonderful, and it's so good to see you guys. Hope you are doing very well. Timothy Rainwaters, great to see you too. Good to see you, buddy.
But what that does, Pride Rock and the Pride lands around it, seeing it decimated like that, is kind of a nod to effective leadership.
Yeah.
Okay, of what ineffective leadership can do, no matter where you are in the world. Mm-hmm. Not to politicize anything, but I think that's what that's saying is you got to have the right people in charge. Sure. And he's not the right guy for sure. Everything's moved on. They are not staying. He's going to be
gone. That's why they're starving for food.
Yeah,
and that is why Nala is crawling around and sees Pumbaa.
Yeah, she's searching for food, is what she's doing.
And they see this succulent. She's gonna hate me. And he starts running. Nala's chasing after Pumbaa. He gets stuck underneath this branch, and Timon's like, "Come on, we gotta go!" And then he turns around and just goes, "Ah!" And then obviously Simba comes, like Simba's like Mighty Mouse. He goes, here he comes to save the day, and then they have a fight. And then Nala pulls off a move that she did when they were kids.
Pinja.
And Simba was like, hey, Nala, is that you? And they were like, what?
You know, she learned that from the Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
No, I'm just saying, you know, no, strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir.
So Nala, you know, finds Simba, and they're like, what? You're alive? It's a miracle. He is the Messiah. Sorry, I'm going into Life of Brian. Great film. I don't know why that came out of a reference.
That's okay. But you're right. She does. She basically says, where have you been? We need you.
We thought you were dead.
Yeah. Well, no, but she's serious too. Like, dude, you're the king.
Yeah.
You need to come back. We need you. Everybody's gonna die and starve to death.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of what he says.
It's okay.
Pumbaa didn't even know. And then, you know, Pumbaa's going like, oh, your majesty.
Like, I think you have the wrong guy. He's not the king. He's not a king.
So
No, that's
you
him.
know her, and she knows you, and she wants to eat him. Can somebody tell me what's going
And
on?
everybody's all right with this?
It's great. And then they kind of go off, and then Timon goes, I know what's happening here.
I can see what's happening. What? And they don't have a clue. Who? They'll fall in love, and here's the bottom line. Trios down to 2.
Yeah.
And they start to rekindle their friendship.
Yeah.
And
can you guys feel the love tonight? Can you feel it?
Get that award-winning song, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Or in the live actions case, Can You Feel the Love This Afternoon? Because it's not set in the night.
Well, to be fair, in places like Alaska, well, in the summer, it's 24-hour, pretty much, daylight. So you never know where they were.
But they're not in
Alaska.
Yes, but you never know how much daylight they have in Africa.
Well, do they have daylight like they do in Alaska?
I think if there's anybody who knows daytime and nighttime in Africa, it's you.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
You never know. I mean, it
Well, you do know. Tell us.
it took a while. I was there in March, though, so it did take a while for it to get dark.
Look, guys,
it does here, too. It takes several hours.
Guys, if you call a song Can You Feel the Love Tonight, you direct the film in the nighttime, not in the daytime. Otherwise, it doesn't make
Can you feel the love this morning? It just doesn't. It
This
doesn't
afternoon.
make sense.
Oh, there's already
we're
another
having lunch.
afternoon song. Afternoon Delight.
Afternoon light.
Let's not get into that song.
Yeah, let's not do that.
See, that one was already taken, so that's why they said, "Can you feel the love tonight?"
It's not a bad song, but it's
Northern Lights, African Lions.
probably not good for this stream.
So
I didn't mention it, so
they have a great time. Simba and Nala have a great time. They, have fun in the pool, the water pool, whatever. And have
they went
fun.
for a swim.
It's the Polynesian pool, by the way. It's Polynesian.
They need you. They need you
They
back.
actually went swimming at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah, it's the Animal Kingdom Lodge pool. Come on.
Baker's killing me, says Alex.
Oh, I'm
gosh.
sorry. I should just not talk anymore.
Though pork is pretty delicious. Timothy.
It is.
Ronto roasted. But that's Ronto.
Plain tree.
Ooh, yeah.
It's in Animal Kingdom.
It is good.
The lions probably like it there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh.
Simba's still not getting it. He just doesn't want to go back. And then we come to my favorite part of the film.
Mine too.
And this is what I think for me really another thing I didn't like about the live action is the time they spent with Rafiki and Simba. Rafiki, for me, though he's not in the film much, he is the Yoda of this film. He is the wisdom.
He is the Yoder.
Yoda.
Yoder, you are.
Yoda.
That's Yodeler.
No, I showed his last name is Lehihu.
Yeah, I saw that in the chat.
Lehihu.
I saw that in the chat. That's not your joke.
It is, I know. Somebody put that in the chat the other day. Anyway, we're digressing.
Rafiki and Simba. It's just a beautiful film, part of the film. And Rafiki is like, you're Mufasa's boy, and he's still alive. And they chase him through the sort of bushy area, and they end up at this pond. And he's saying, look into the water. He's like, Mufasa, he lives in you.
Well, here's the thing, and it's my favorite scene, Dan, and I agree 100%. He says, you're Mufasa's boy. He says, my father's dead. He goes, no, he's not dead. He says, and I'll take him to you. Follow me. And he follows him, and he says, look in the water. And he says, what do you see? And he goes, that's not my father. That's just my reflection. And he says, look harder. Yeah. And it's my favorite part of the film. I agree 100%, because it's true with anybody that has parents that, like, I'm very fortunate. Both my parents are still alive. Even I'm 50 and I'm lucky. Both of my parents are still alive. But they do live in you, even when after they are gone. They still live they're here for forever. They're always in your heart. Part of you is who you are as a person, your traits, who you are as a person. You have a lot of the same traits as your moms and your dads and things like that. And that's what he basically means is your father's in you. Mm-hmm. You have the same leadership ability, the compassion, the strength to be able to lead and be the king. And that's when you have the scene and you see the cloud come down and his dad talks to him. And that's my favorite scene in the film as a dad. Mm-hmm. For me, it's my favorite scene for me.
Remember who you are.
I think you can even generalize it too of like, I'm sure all of us have lost someone. People in the chat, you've probably lost someone close to you, or mm-hmm. They're gonna live in you, in your memory, mm-hmm. forever. So I think it's not even just your parents or your grandparents or whoever it might be. It could be anyone that mm-hmm. you want to continue their legacy, and I think that's what makes that scene so special, is that you're given the opportunity to carry on someone else's legacy with what you do and how you act and how you continue to show the world who you are as a person. And then another person will continue. I feel like we're going to get into like Hamilton territory, but that's kind of all about like leaving a legacy and being true to who you are and remembering who you are is really what Mufasa wanted Simba to do. Like, this is who you are. This is your family. Stand up for what you believe in. Just look harder. And I think Rafiki is the only person, while Nala did her like, whatever lion magic to get him to like sort of think about things. I think Rafiki is the only person to touch Simba in that way of like, this is what is important. This was
he made the connection
my
for
dad.
Sure. Yeah.
So
for sure. I agree.
Yeah. So he talks to Mufasa, and telling him to remember who you are, and he is my son, the one true king. And he kind of gets that sort of confidence back to say, right, I need to do this, but he doesn't really know how. And Timothy Rainwaters brings up what I was about to say. He goes, "You crazy monkey just hit me in the head. It doesn't matter. It was in the past." And that scene right there is something I really missed in the live action, because that right there is such an iconic character building scene that desperately needed to be in the live action film, because that's what it's all about. It's all about, right, yes, it happened in the past, but you've got to, he said, you can either
run from it or you can learn from it.
You can either run from it or you can learn from it.
And that's something we need in today's world, period. But
absolutely,
I feel like I should be taking the advice from these
it's true.
Animals.
But he did learn from it, because he swung again, and this time he ducked.
Yeah.
So he did learn from it, and that's the point. And then he's like, so what are you going to do next? He says, first I'm going to take your stick, and then I'm going back. And that's when he was like, yes. Go on, get out of here.
Welcome in, Gonzo. Great to see
I feel
you,
like
buddy.
it was the moment where, because you guys, like, you know, when Aragon at the end is like, just goes, you know, doesn't care what's
me
in
tell you what.
his way.
That's a great scene, but what I really like about that scene, let me hit on Lord of the Rings real fast. When he says for Frodo and he starts running,
Yeah.
who's the next to run? The two little hobbits.
Merry and Pippin.
They were next, man. They were like, not the big giant warriors. It was the two little hobbits who were right behind him. That's such a great scene.
Sorry, I just break into song when I see that, and they're like, ah!
Yeah.
That's a great scene. And you're like, hurry up, throw it in before they get killed.
Yeah.
I don't
Step
know
on
that
them.
everybody starts running.
Reading those books reading those books, I'm like, hurry up, throw it in. They're outnumbered.
We had to.
Sorry.
Of course, Lord of the Rings was going to come up with us three in the stream.
I just had to make the connection.
Yeah, it's true.
The rainbow connection. Sorry, that's Muppets now. Where were we?
So he now goes back.
He goes back, and you see him running across the savannah, and Nala and Timon and Pumbaa are there with him. They're
not at first. He thinks he's alone.
Yeah.
Right.
He thinks that he has to fight alone, and because it's really actually a good scene. I love it. I'm like, wow, they're not cowards after all. They're there for their friend, and they're willing to fight with him. I actually love that part. I'm sorry, I had to bring it up because I'm like, at first you're thinking, man, he's gonna have to fight alone, and nope, they were all there for him. It was awesome.
And then we've got. He goes, right, what's the plan? He goes, live beat. He goes, hey, what do you want me to do? Dress in drag and do the hula?
Yep.
And it's just.
You could be a big pig too.
Oh my! They start running, and I just.
It breaks the tension.
Yeah.
It really just breaks the tension at just the right time.
I feel like Disney does such a good job at doing things like that where you can have a really intense moment. And that's kind of why I love Lord of the Rings so much too, not to bring it back to that, but to be able to have very serious moments and really sentimental moments and sad moments and parts where you're angry, but then also bring the humor in that without losing the message is, I think Lion King does such a good job, like little sprinkles of humor throughout the movie, but then also, keeping to the message and how serious that part of the movie is.
Right. But it's brought at the right time. That's the key, Meg.
I'll tell you what.
The humor's at the right time.
Walt and I, you know that we've watched a lot of these films recently, and we said some of the jokes hit and some of the jokes miss. Mm-hmm. Every joke in this film hits. Yeah. Every single
It's about timing.
Yeah.
It's about timing. It's about the direction of the film. It's about how they put the story together. Look, you're in this dark scene. Pride Rock is destroyed. Yeah. They are behind this log. It's gray. And he says, what do you want me to do? Dress in drag and do the hula? And then you just see Timon with a coconut bra in a hula skirt, bright pink and orange color background with Pumbaa with an apple in his mouth. That is beautifully timed comedy. And I love it.
Alex said, they call me Mr. Pig.
Well, he's there. He comes inside and they're like, what are you going to do, Pig? And he goes, uh-oh, you shouldn't have done that. What did you say? They call me.
This is it. This is the fight. Like, obviously, when a final act happens, it starts to rain and fire and everything.
Yeah, of course.
But the rain, and we're going to get to it. The rain, it plays an important message.
Yep.
It actually does. Go ahead.
Simba arrives back in Pride Rock after he just sees his mother being struck by Scar. And he's like, and he believes that it's Mufasa at first. Because obviously, like father, like son, it's a similar look. And Simba goes over to Sarabi, his mother, and it's like, it's me, it's your son, it's Simba. And then Scar's like, oh, it's Simba.
It's Simba.
So nice to see you.
Alive.
Yeah.
And then he looks at the hyenas and they're like, oh, we messed up again. Damn it. So and this is what happens, Scar with his mind tricks, with his incredible mindset, convinces the lions and the hyenas who was responsible for Mufasa's death. And this is where, that sort of nip and tuck of, Simba's, the reason why he ran away was because he was told that it was his fault. But now he's back to, it's that sort of, and Scar knows how to deal with that. He says, it's my fault. And they start to sort of fight. And then we get that mirroring image of Simba over a pit of fire on the edge of Pride Rock. Scar digs his claws in like he did on Mufasa, and he goes, well, here's my little secret. I killed Mufasa.
It's actually his big mistake, too.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't say that, he probably wins.
Yeah.
But his arrogance got the best of him, because he probably wins, but then when he said it, that's when it really kind of set Simba off, and that was it. It was his downfall.
Yep.
And there's two mistakes he makes, and we'll get to the second one soon. So Simba was like, "Oh, it was you," and then they start, fighting.
Yep.
Yeah,
he admits it, and then the lionesses and Nala and Sarabi and all the lionesses go up against the hyenas. It's a big fight. Pumbaa and Timon get in on it. They do the Mr. Pig thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Rafiki, being Yoda, he's like using the stick, and then he goes, Wah! And he knocks the guy behind him without looking. I love that. It's great.
That's like Kung Fu, man.
It's proper Kung Fu. Yeah, it's
Kung Fu.
Or
he learned that from the Cobra Kai, by the way.
And something like that in the animation just works.
Strike hard.
It just works. And and Simba and Scar climb all the way up to the top of Pride Rock. Fire. There's like a fire sort of ring. And I love the slow-mo in this. I don't know about you guys, but when they do that slow-mo fighting with the claws around the face, proper lion fighting with still emotion on their faces. And then, Scar, is like, all right, what do you want me to do? And Simba goes, he says, run away, Scar. Run away and never return.
Never return. And he was going to let him do that.
Yeah.
He was going to let him do that.
And then he was like...
Nope. And then we get the fight. And before Simba wins, which is his second mistake, Scar says, it was the hyenas. It wasn't me. It was the hyenas. Yeah, it was bad-mouthing the hyenas.
Yeah. When desperate people do desperate things.
They do.
Because what he didn't expect was, I think he expected mercy from Simba, then he was going to save him. He didn't.
Yeah.
He let him.
Yeah. And so Simba gets the upper hand, sends him down the cliff.
He falls, but doesn't die.
And he goes, my friends.
Yes.
You're like, friends? Right. I thought you said we were the enemy. And then all the hyenas
slowly creep in.
Oh,
it's so good.
And Scar.
And that's it.
Scar's end. That's it. And then we get the rain. Now, Walt, you want to...
the rain is... It's a symbol. Yes, it's a symbol that they're washing away.
Cleanse.
They're cleansing. That's exactly right. It's a cleansing. That's exactly right. It's a cleansing. It's washing away the old.
Regrowth.
Bringing in the new. And then as you do, and you hear the music and you see Mufasa again. And then he goes up to the top and he finally does his roar.
Let me tell you. When he firstly hugs his mother, and then Rafiki does that gesture, say it's your time to go at the top of Pride Rock, and it's pouring down. That music, that soundtrack is the best in the whole
so good.
Like, you got the sort of the harmonies from the voices and the music, and he's doing that one step at a time.
Yeah.
I've got goosebumps right now. It's down my back.
I don't even can see it.
Stands on top, proud. He's king. Gives that roar, and you're like, it's just,
and then it fades to Pride Rock again.
Yep.
Green again, full of life, full of vibrance, and all the animals are back, and it's literally the circle of life. We're back to where the film started
Mhm.
with Mufasa and Sarabi bringing Simba. It's now Simba and Nala bringing their child, and we're starting all over again.
So I have a question for you guys, because I know personally I have a really hard time accepting when a movie's over. You know, if you've watched a TV series, a really hard time watching the last episode because I don't want to think that it's over. So I feel more at peace when I watch that because I know that it's just gonna keep going. Circle of life. And so I can leave watching The Lion King knowing like it's the circle of life. It's not ever going to be over.
Again, yeah.
And yeah, I have such a hard time with closure on movies because I never want them to end. But for that one, it's like, I know that it's going to continue. So,
Right. Yeah.
I agree. So we got to the end of the film. I just want to just very quickly discuss our favorite characters and our views on the live action very, very quickly. And then we will give our grade and we'll pick the next film for next week. So, Meg, favorite character in The Lion King?
Oh, there's so many that I like. It's so hard to pick. I mean, obviously Mufasa is a really, really amazing character. I love Rafiki. I love Timon and Pumbaa. It's so hard to pick just one, but I think maybe Rafiki. Maybe he's probably my favorite. I just love all of them so much. It's so hard to pick. So yeah.
Going with Rafiki, but honorably mentioning
all of them.
Every single one. Waltz, yourself?
It's Mufasa. Period.
Mufasa.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. It's not even close for me. He is the catalyst in the film. Everything revolves around him.
It does.
It really does. Even his death is the reason for the whole film. It really is. And this film is Hamlet. It really is.
It is.
In a lot of ways.
It's a modern day Hamlet. That's what it is.
But what it is he is just a great, great dad, in my opinion.
He is.
As funny as this sounds, I model some of the things I do as a dad off of what Mufasa would be like as a dad himself.
That's not funny to me at all. I would totally do that.
I do. And I love his character. He's probably my third favorite character of all time, period, in Disney, behind the Genie and Goofy.
Wow,
I know.
I love it.
Funny,
I love it.
but
no, I love that. I love that. And,
Mufasa is my favorite, hands down. I just love his character. What about you, Dave?
I would say Rafiki. He is my favorite, but I'm also going to throw in Scar as well because Scar he is the quintessential Disney villain. That's who he is, and his character is written so well, and he is just a captivating villain. He is sinister. He's devious. He's strong mentally and physically. He's fantastic. He's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I agree.
Very quickly on the live action. I know we are really pushing for time. I know we've got to run a little bit over. I hope you guys are okay with that.
I'm fine with it. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for hanging in.
Yes,
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Meg. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
The reason, Meg, we invited you on for this film because we knew that you really enjoyed the live action film. What was it about this film, the live action, you really enjoyed?
I mean, I know that you guys have touched upon it a few times of just saying that you lose some of the emotion in more of these realistic CGI characters, but I was just so fascinated that they were able to, like, from an animation perspective, like, it was incredible what they did. I'm sure you guys agree with that. But
for me, the film is one of the most beautifully CGI'd film that looks like they've just went out to Africa. It is one of the most.
I told the giraffes to stand here and hold on. We're gonna reshoot that. Can you come back?
It is one of the most beautiful shot films I have ever seen. Visually, that's the one big thing I would say the live action is very good with.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely things that I mean, we've also talked about if we're gonna pick one to watch, we're all probably gonna go for the original, the animated one. But that doesn't mean that I own The Lion King on Blu-ray, both of them, and we've watched it because it's something that's a huge part of my childhood. And I do I know some people don't like the new songs, but be prepared, take it or leave it. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of it. So it was a little weird to have it cut for the most part from the movie. It was like half a song or a quarter of a song, but I enjoy some of the new songs. And, the voice acting was fine, but it's so hard when you're comparing it to something that's been up here for so long. And I love that they brought Elton John back to do a new song, and Beyonce wrote a song for it, and I just thought it was really well done. And I know that with any of the live action movies, they're not going to be as good as the original, because nothing is ever as good as an original.
Thank you, Pamela. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for being here.
So I mean, I really enjoyed it. I thought, it was really, really well done for a live action. It was by far my favorite live action movie that they made. So,
and I know, Walt, you actually haven't seen it, the live action film, and I know your opinions on the live action films, and that's totally okay. Like, it's totally fine to sort of have those views on that. And
well, here's the thing, and for those that may not know, the live actions to me are a double-edged sword for me.
Yeah.
You can't win with me, because if you do it differently, I'm not going to like it because it's different, and I don't understand why you changed it. But if you do it the exact same, I'm not going to like it because I'm going to be like, well, if it's the exact same, why even do it at all? Yeah. And that's kind of how I feel about live actions, period. I'm like, we've already done this. I don't need to see it as a live action. I've already seen the story. I don't want it changed, and I don't need to see it again. So to me, come up with new stuff. That's how I feel. I want original. That's all. That's how I feel. I've never been a fan of any of the live actions.
Okay, I think if you I think a lot of us have this emotional attachment to the original animated movie, and nothing will ever compare to it. I'm not saying that this one is better, even close to what it is, but I think if you were to remove that attachment of what you have towards the original Lion King, and then you just view it almost as a separate film, if you view it from the characters and their character development and the songs and the singing and everything that goes into it digitally, and how it's literally a piece of art. It's so incredible.
But that's a big ask, Meg. But you're asking, that's a big ask.
But I'm saying, if you are looking at it from it's a good movie. I think all of the live actions are fine. This is my favorite one. Yeah. I enjoy The Lion King more so than other animated movies that have been turned into live action movies. But I think, it's none of them are going to be as good. And Walt, like you said, it really is I don't know why they're doing all of that. I'm excited for Hercules. So I have to say, I'm very excited, but you're going to have people that are upset because it's going to be different, or that it's the exact same. And in the case of The Lion King, was literally the exact same movie, except with a very few differences.
See, for me, as somebody who has seen the live action film, for me personally, this is my least favorite live action Disney animated film, because it is literally copy and paste. If they were editing a film, it is copy and paste. The scenes are directed the same. They've cut the film the same way as they did in the animation. They took stuff out and made things different very slightly. But everything that they did in the live action film is the same that they did in 1994. Visually, it is stunning. It is absolutely stunning. But for me, visuals doesn't make not always makes a great movie for me. That's just my personal opinion. And when I see a lion make the same facial expression if he's happy, sad, or angry, I don't get invested into that character. For me, the reason why I got into the animated film is the characters and the emotions on their faces. When I see Simba with tears down his face, with his father lying on the ground, that gets me. But him just in the live action, where he's putting the same face like he is at the start of the film when he's happy, it doesn't get me. It just doesn't. And I understand people can make that argument, saying, "Oh, it's meant to be realistic. It's meant to be this." And I'm like, The Lion King isn't meant to be a real film. It's meant to be
we have talking lions.
I do think that there definitely has to be there was more reliance on the voice acting, and it just wasn't that, like, you know, if you have a character that's not, you know, like visually not expressing the emotion, which obviously real lions don't do that, you know,
right, of course.
So I can see why they went that direction, but if you're gonna do that, the voice acting really has to be like up there, and I think it kind of fell below that for me, but it was still a good movie to me.
I would still argue that you can still give impressions of realistic looking animals. Look, if you are an animal owner, for example, if you're a dog owner, you know when your dog is happy, sad, hungry, or needs to go out. Like, you can tell by his expression. And
no, I can't tell.
Cam, are you happy?
I'm dead. So that's just my opinion. Look, everybody's gonna have differences of opinion, and I think the live action film definitely have polar opposites. I'm now gonna ask everybody in the chat for your grade. Now, if you are new to Disney Movie Review, we do grade from an A+ being that top Disney
letter grade
down to an F. It's a letter grade. So I'm gonna start off with Meg. So if you want to give me your grade for your animated and your live action version.
Oh, the animated one has to be an A+. There's only one other movie that is like up there with Lion King for me. And then for the remake, maybe like a B.
Okay.
I don't know. B minus. I mean, it was fine. It's just not up there with the animated one. So
that's absolutely fair enough. Walt, now obviously you haven't seen the live action film, so would you like just to give the animated version?
Oh, absolutely. Well, animated, live action, I'll give it an IC, incomplete, obviously.
An A.
The report card.
Yeah, an IC, or an I, as they would put probably back in my day. But for me, for the animated, I think it's the greatest animated film ever made, period. Period. Yeah. So it's an A+.
Yeah.
It just is. It's the greatest animated film of all time. Snow White's really, really close because she was first.
I love Snow White. Oh,
okay.
So good.
She's really, really close because that's the one that put animation on the map.
Yep.
And it's just got so great and compelling characters in Snow White as well. But this film it's Hamlet. It is. And it's done really, really well for lions, for crying out loud. So it's an A+ for me. I absolutely love this film.
Fantastic.
There you go. What about you?
For me, I'm giving the animation an A+. Of course, it is. It may not be my favorite animation of all time, but it is the best animation of all time. It is by far the best animation of all time. Live action, I'm giving it a C. For me, that is generous. The reason why it's a C is because, look, it's still the same story. The story is a wonderful story, and visually, it's stunning. That's the only reason why I'm giving it a C. If it didn't have those, it would be lower. So that's why I'm giving it a C. In the chat, Noah gives it an A- for the animation, I believe. Avery gives it an A+. Broadway musical gets an A++.
Oh yeah.
And we got to talk. You know, Lion King is that successful. It has Broadway. It has attractions in the parks. It has the Festival of the Lion King show.
Yeah.
It's
well represented in the parks. It is. It does well. It's not overly represented, though. I mean, I can't say Lion King's everywhere. You have the Festival of the Lion King. But once you get past Festival of the Lion King, it drops off considerably. Yeah. It's not everywhere. I think they actually could use...
But, though, you have the Lion King section of Art of Animation. You have... The music is everywhere. Like, it's not just... Avery gives the remake a C. Noah gives it a C+ for the live animation. Alice gives A+ and a C, so same as me. Laurie agrees with me. Chaos says, I could tell my cats' moods, their faces do change. It's in their eyes. Laurie gives it a C. I mean, I wouldn't call it live action since it's 95% animated. Only the first few seconds isn't animated. Yeah, I do agree. Jonathan Chang says animated is A+, musical is AAA+. I'm biased having friends and teachers work on it and being a being a theater production. Wow.
That's so cool.
Pamela says, I'm going to get Lion King an A++. Okay, now I'm going by everyone. The original is, of course, an A+. Rob is just giving a yes. Karen says,
he's got his grades down below.
Yeah.
Live action IC, says Kate Atwood. Lion King the ride.
Yeah, they should have a ride.
I'm giving an A and C at most. The remake a D+ for RobFuz. That's fair. Timothy Ray Waters gives it an A. Original is A+++++. Timothy says A for movie C minus for Broadway.
For Broadway. Like, I am shocked by that.
You know, it's everybody's. Everyone has a different opinion. Wow, I know we ran over a lot. Look, this film was always going to be a big talking point. It's one of Disney's greatest of all time, and obviously it was going to run a little bit over. So thank you so much, everybody, for sticking with us. We are now going to draw the next week's show on Walt's channel. So if you haven't subscribed to Walt, go subscribe. For next
I do want to do a programming note while we're here, Dan.
Yes.
We may not have Disney movie review next week.
Okay.
Walter is in town Friday for the next 10 days. So, yes.
So our next review, so not next week, the next time you'll see this review, it will be on Walt's channel, maybe.
Yes. It might be Sunday, but we're going to have to talk about it off stream, and we'll put something. We'll put a reminder out there.
You guys will know.
Like 2 weeks.
You will know.
Yeah, you'll know. Sorry. I just wanted to let you know.
That's fine. No, that's fine. Adam says, my input, The Lion King, hands down, is the best movie soundtrack of any Disney movie. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So the next review we are going to be. So here is the
box. Pick a good one!
I hope it's a good one.
This is going to be on Walt's channel now. Last week,
it's going to be the Apple Dumpling Gang.
Next.
No, I'm okay with that. I love that movie.
Last week, you had The Cat from Outer Space. I would love to have a Pixar or a Muppets or a Star Wars film.
No. Get like Escape from Witch Mountain or The Rock one either.
I'll do my best. All right, I've got one.
Okay.
Here we go. Next review on Walt's channel. We are heading over to Marvel.
Batman.
Please don't be that. No, I hope not.
We are taking a ride with the Guardians of the Galaxy. We are taking a ride with Star-Lord and Gamora and Groot and Rocket and Drax.
And Groot.
We are going to be watching the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I am so excited.
And I gotta say, I know I'm the only one that thinks this. The most underutilized villain. I love Ronan the Accuser.
Oh, Ronan is good.
I thought you were talking about
Yondu. Ronan is such a great villain. Ronan the Accuser. First off, I love his name. God, they could have done so much more with him.
So our next review will be Guardians of the Galaxy. I am so excited. Talk about a soundtrack. We are going back. We're going from one cat to outer space to a tree and a raccoon. That's kind of the thing Walt's reviews now on. So
outer space
with animals.
It's going to be out of this world.
It's going to be out of this world. It's going to be
Don't space out on this one, gang.
I want to give a massive thank you to Meg from Mickey's Magic. Thank you for joining us for your first Disney movie review. There was no other person that we could think of to have you here, so thank you so much for being
here. We thought of 6 people. They couldn't make it. No.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. No, thank you so much for having me. The second you asked, I was like, of course, anything Lion King, I'm so down, and this is such a fun idea. I love that you guys are doing this because there are still so many Disney movies that I haven't seen, and so many of us are such Disney fans, and so many movies I never even heard of Cats of Outer Space. Just so many.
Well, you should join us more often then and start watching some of these. They're fun.
Yeah. No, I'm ready. I'm ready to watch Guardians. Watch the stream next week or in 2 weeks. So I'm excited.
It's going to be a lot.
We had never seen Cat from Outer Space, either one of us. I hadn't seen it.
I never heard of it.
And like I say every week, this is the reason why Walt and I love doing these reviews. It's like our Disney book club, but for films. We tell everybody to go out every week, watch the film the same week that we're watching it, come back here Sunday night and review it together, because that's what it's all about. You know, we pick films that we may have never even want to see, or, you know, never had the I don't even know the words.
Inclination of watching.
And
George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle.
That movie's okay.
Exactly. So
I gave it an F, Meg.
I loved it.
I did.
Well, at this point, I already know that we have very different opinions on most things.
PP, welcome.
We don't on this one.
We always agreed on The Lion King. Yeah.
So,
and The Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
So,
except that you like The Return of the King the most, and I
love
don't.
Return of the King.
I do like Return of the King the most, but
I love Return
like Fellowship is like 1A. Two Towers to me is definitely the weakest of the three.
They're all so good, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
Two Towers is still fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway. So look, guys, go out, watch Guardians of the Galaxy, and we will review that next time on Walt's channel. This is going to be a lot of fun. We love doing these. This has been such a great review. And let's just quickly go around, talk about what's coming up on our channels, and we'll get out of here. So, Meg, what is coming up with you? So, as your spokeswoman, do you want me to go, or do you want to take the reins?
I'll just quickly say I go live every Monday, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time, and then I've been putting out videos Thursdays and Saturdays. And if everyone could go check out Pete McDevitt's stream at 8:00, he is interviewing Ryan from the Chef family in the hot seat, so it's going to be hilarious. So once again, thank you so much for having me, guys. It's so much fun.
It's our pleasure.
My pleasure. So thank you so much for being here, Meg. Partner channel, great friend, and maybe we'll see you again for Fiasco next week. Super exciting. Walt, we've done it again. Love these streams. Thank you so much for being here, pal.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome. These are always fun. I love doing these.
And for you, big congratulations today on a wonderful stream at Magic Kingdom. 3,500 subscribers.
Crazy.
Growing. And coming up for you?
Well, streaming from the parks has been awesome. Thank you to everybody who comes and watches. We're definitely honored and grateful. It's been a lot of fun, learning a lot from streaming from the parks. It's been awesome. It really has. Everybody's been so supportive and so nice and fun. But we still have Melissa's Exploration Eats, Man vs. Park, Around Town. We do all kinds of fun videos. DIZNEYDAN on Tuesday nights as well. We're everywhere.
I like the sights and sounds videos.
Yeah,
it's different. You know, I like that too, only because it's just fun when I get into the parks and there's nobody in there. I mean, you know, and you get a lot of the good views with not a lot of people around. And the whole, for me, the sights and sounds is the people, but also the background music and the different things you see in the parks. Yeah. And I appreciate that, Meg. Thank you, because I really like those too. And they're fun. They really are fun. So thank you for anybody that watches. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for joining me once again, and I love doing these. And guys, go check out Walt from Mouse Talk. Again, partner channel, great friend, and I'm looking forward to our next review together. As for me, next week, Disney Fiasco episode 107. I've got a stream in mind. I've got a video topic in mind, which I'm really excited about.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I always think of it last minute, but I've actually thought about this one really well. So,
I always think about everything last minute.
So I'm super excited to do that next week. Again, thank you once again to my partner channels, the Viapree Project, Mickey's Magic, Mouse Talk, and RobFuz, who's in the chat. Guys, go check every one of those channels out. Thank you so much. And thank you once again to Dean over at theliveplace.com. Guys, go check out Dean over at theliveplace.com. He is your go-to guy for live streamers, Disney, non-Disney, over 110 different live streamers, and I'm so honored to be part of that. So, guys, go check out Dean over at The Live Place. And other news, I will be interviewed by the Polka Dot Podcast in a couple of weeks, and it will be released in October. She's interviewing former cast members. So, guys, go subscribe to the Polka Dot Podcast and tell them Disney Dan sent you.
The legend's in here.
The legend.
Arjon's.
Is he? He's there! Arjon's! Hi!
I love seeing his picture up there.
I love it. But he's missing his hat.
What happened to was he Beaker? What happened to Beaker?
I don't know. Anyway, guys, Shep is going to be on Pete McGen. I cannot speak tonight.
Yeah, so Shep is going to be on Pete McDevitt's channel tonight, everyone. Be sure to check him out. He will actually be live.
And also, I want to throw out, if no one has ever seen the Shep family, you're going to want to see the Shep family tonight. So.
Can I just say, you've got Pete on Off the Wall with Shep.
He's already off the wall.
Let me tell you something. If there are two people in this Disney community who paired together will cause chaos, it's them two.
Yep.
So it is a show you do not want to miss.
I'm ready.
Go over there. Tell them we sent you. Pete McDevitt, Off the Wall with Shep family. 15 minutes. Go check it out. Thank you once again, guys. I will see you next week for Disney Fiasco. Guys, go check all these channels out. You guys are the best. Twitter, Instagram, DisneyDan. And subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 2,000 subscribers. Only 60 to go. Subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. And I'll see you guys all real soon. All right, guys. Everybody. See you over on Pete McDevitt. There we go. Bye.
Goodbye.